already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist.
Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Mike, ready? 5-8, 5-8.
Brees now on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. From the gun, it's Brees. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Brees. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Trubisky gives to Cohen. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 29-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Trubisky. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's Trubisky to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
18. Fresno. Slam. Kill. Turn up. Kill, play.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. They juked him, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Flushed out right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circuit. Catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some...
Throwing here, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is. But how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And they will not get a chance to... return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. He'll let it fly in the direction again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and it'll bring up 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away. And compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Lock in. Hey, check 24. Ran. Check 13.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Breeze now to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not only going to tip it, I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On the NFL scoreboard, an update from up in Seattle. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense.
Alert, 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 alert.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now Trubisky. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Ginn. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Ready. 95-56. You.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the Bears' 49-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady. She's the opposite. 21. 36.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson.
Turner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Let's go one more. Kill. Hey, ball.
Quick throw here caught by Gabriel. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Pick it up.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And that's caught inside the 35. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the 1st down in the process. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. This is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller. His 2nd touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.